On track, now we gon' way up. Don't be used to easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Now another way up. Now I'm blessed and you know straight up, straight up, straight up. On track, now we gon' way up, straight up. Now we gon' way up. Now we on track, now we gon' way up, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' keep the same energy. I'm being better when I'm 70. Just water spring.
What's up, everybody? We're going to be live here in 2 minutes. Get your asses in here. Get ready.
Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. Don't be used to easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Now I'm way up. Now I'm blessed and you know straight up, straight up, straight up. On track, now we gon' way up, straight up. Now we gon' way up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we gon' I his band like I'm very bonds. Running for the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it. Keep it coming on. Only friendly me and friends, we don't get along. Put that on my name, not put them on. Put myself away, just sing along.
Enough bullshitting around. Let me turn my microphone on. That kind of helps. Let's get over to this gallery view and start talking to some mother effing people. My main man, Mr. Kelley, is with me, and our buddy, Mr. Ron Nelson.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. This is going to be a fun night, a fun show. I was surprised, Kelley. I don't know if you know, I did one of these in the live stream, in the Facebook group earlier today, and it was crazy. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, like I said, I did not get on social media today, hardly at all, so I did not see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hurry up and
trying to get this. Where the heck did there he goes? Okay, sweet.
Let me see if I can get to this. What is real fast? What's up, everybody? Hey, man, I got some new music that I got downloaded, man. I'm sorry, that song's pretty hard. If you don't like that, you can kiss my ass. But I got a couple other good ones too. But real fast, let me just give some shout outs and then we're going to get into some conversation here. Gangster Dad, what is up, man? Josh Moore, Miss Jessica Egan, good to see you again, ma'am. Perfect Temperature, a long ass name, so I'm just going to say Perfect Temperature. Hey, it wasn't my fault we weren't on time. There's other people here. It actually is my fault we weren't on time, but it's not the point. Miss Susie, hi, Miss Susie. David Dillon, what's up, my man? AG Maintenance and Repair. Mr. Craig Egan, Tony Reyes. Rookie, what up, Rookie? Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. David Halifax, what is up? Mr. Zeke, what's up, my friend? And Mr. JH, what's up, buddy? Justin Henning says, what's up, Kelley and Ron?
What's up?
Hey, what's happening?
All right, everybody.
Hey, Jessica.
Yeah, if I missed you, what's up? What's up? You don't have a way to see the comments, do you?
Ron? I do. Ron probably doesn't.
Forgive me, I'm new to this stuff here.
You could probably minimize your screen and then open YouTube. You just wouldn't be able to see us.
Yeah, I hit chat, but it's not showing me anything. I see them come up on the main screen, but I don't see a way to reply.
It's fine. I mean, if I see something, I can send it your way. First and foremost, guys, make sure you go ahead and give this a like. Help that algorithm so people watch this shiznit afterwards. All right. Ron, real fast, if people don't know you, man, Ron's another Maryland boy. Whoop, whoop. I guess just tell them a little bit about you, man, real fast.
Yeah, I'm Ron Nelson, owner and operator of Community HVAC Services. We serve the DMV area, which is DC, PG and Montgomery County, Maryland, and Northern Virginia. and we're serving residential and commercial clients.
Nice, man. So, how are you? I know you said that you're a one-man band. How are you holding up through all this fucking madness?
I think that being a owner operator is actually a blessing during this time, because I don't have some of the overhead that the larger companies have. I mean, I have my general overhead, but I know a big problem a lot of owners are facing right now is figuring out, how to make sure that their staff is okay during this time. So thankfully, I don't have to worry with that right now, and I feel for all the owners that are trying to figure that out. That's a real problem right now, to make sure the team's okay.
Yeah, it is. I got half my guys just flat out said they don't want to work, which I'm not going to force anybody to work. If they don't want to work, that's fine. And the other half, trying to find something to do with them. I mean, we've had a few jobs, but the sad part is it's stuff that's already been paid for that we just had to get done. There were some hot water coils up in Temple Hills. So we were up in Temple Hills doing some stuff up there. And
oh, you're down in my neck of the woods.
Yeah. So it's the
I thought you were up in Baltimore.
Yeah. So we have a couple accounts up there that we got. There's a place called Collington. It's real big. And some of the people that worked there had left, and we got some different accounts, but it works. So we were up there doing some hot water coils in these units that they should not be fixed. Let's put it that way. They should be replaced, but we replaced some coils, and we can get in some work doing that stuff, but they've already paid us for that stuff. So it's not like we're generating more revenue. But it kind of is what it is. I mean, we've been offering all kind of discounts. I've been saying that I'll finance any amount, like any total, just trying to help people out, give these homeowners options. Like, hey, if you have a repair and it's a couple $100 and you don't have it, then I'll finance it. Do I normally like financing a couple $100? No, but I'm willing to give people options because I understand everyone's scared. Their money's tight. I mean, I'm willing to do what I have to do to help people. So
we had a job canceled because there was a threat that the husband may lose his job. I don't think it had actually happened yet, but he was concerned. So that canceled on us. And then we've got some installs sold, but we just made the decision today to just go ahead and start operating remotely.
Yeah. Having that CRM, using Service Titan now, I think that we're going to start doing that too, where there's no need for them to come to the office. There's no need to have somebody in the office. We can transfer the phones and somebody can answer it, and they don't know where they're getting it from. Right. As far as something being delivered, I mean, I don't live that far from my office. I can swing by and pick up a package or kick something inside the door or close it and get the fuck out of there. I want to do that same thing. My boss, man, I don't know. I don't understand him right now. I don't think he's really getting the magnitude of this. And it's kind of pissing me off, to be honest with you.
It's one of those things where I almost feel like I don't believe anybody here in my company thinks I'm overreacting at all. I don't believe that, but it's one of those things where it's we're scheduled to have an 8 a.m. sales training in the morning, and we do it via Zoom like this. And, my general manager was like, well, should we just, we'll just tell everybody we're going to start this tomorrow. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think we should all huddle into my office here to watch a Zoom meeting, because that's not absolutely necessary, And that's the thing, is you think that these little things are okay, but is it? I don't know. So I'd rather just be safe than sorry.
That's the thing is right now, we don't know. Like I said earlier, There's no handbook for us to follow. There's no okay, coronavirus, let me open up the manual. We did A, now it's time to do B. And I think it's better to err on the side of caution right now. I really do. But one topic I want to cover is and I'll get your guys' opinions. I know some of your opinions, and I like to see some of the listeners' opinions. Let me see. Gil, what's up with the red? Oh, I never started it. Hold on.
Start it.
Yeah, that is because once we get to 1 hour, you guys can eat shit. We're leaving. It's like I don't like some people right now. I don't like the use of scare tactics, using customers, being scared and their vulnerability to make sales. Guys, I am all about sales. The most I've ever sold in a year is 2.8 million. I do at least normally over $2 million in sales every year, but I do it fucking honestly. All I do is offer customers options, and I help guide them to what's best for them. I don't technically sell them anything. I advise them into their decision. And I really don't like hearing some different things that I don't know if people are just using the wrong choice of words. And it's not all on social media. Some of it's around town. And it's just really, really pissing me off when I hear people say, like, they're selling indoor air quality and they're like doubling the price, or they're like scaring the fuck out of people to get them to buy stuff. I don't like it. It's wrong. I don't care how big your company, how small your company is. It's not okay. You don't need to make money that way. I've always said that, I mean, my morals and my values mean more to me, my checkbook. And everybody says, I'm honest, I do this, I do that. And then you fucking contradict yourself. So I don't know. Let me get your guys' opinion, because it fucking bothers me.
Well, I'd like to actually first say thanks to, there is some people in our trade right now that are really doing their part to try to support us as tradesmen through this. As y'all touched on earlier, we don't know what's going on any more than homeowners know what's going on. This thing's changing rapidly, and we're trying to figure it out as businesses, and so are the homeowners. And I'm thankful for the people, like the Dave Ramsey's, the Joe Craceras, the people that are putting out information for us to try to help us figure out how to manage this and keep our team safe as well as our clients. So thank you to them. But on another note, this week, my email has been blowing up with, I won't mention any names, just as a professional courtesy, but there's 2 coaches that I've gotten redundant emails from this week. I mean, even flat out saying, hey, Ron, are you scared? And it opens up with trying to play on fear. For me as a contractor, to try to buy their now suddenly discounted coaching services. My email is full of local distributors now promoting these deals on indoor air quality products.
Wow.
I go into the local supply houses this week, and I've had multiple supply houses. I have a good relationship with people, and they're like, man, we can't keep UV lamps on the shelf. And usually there's a surplus. Usually there's plenty of them on the shelf. It's disheartening. People will remember how we treated them during these times. Technicians, contractors, we all got to make money. But this is one of them times where we're either going to build relationships that are going to serve us long term, or we're going to try to cash out. And people are going to remember how we treated them and the way we conducted ourselves during this time. Did we really serve them, or did we take advantage of this moment with scare tactics and fear mongering? And
it's karma. Karma's always going to come back and get you.
I just want to be clear. I'm not in any way, coming from a self-righteous place or holier than thou. Some of it's just legitimate ignorance. Some of it is, techs that are caught in a position of, well, you know, I'm a low base rate, and then I'm commissioned. So how do I make money to make sure my family's okay with their owners pushing them? And you know, it's a real problem. And I know each of you have been in the trade a long time. I've been in the trade 15 years, and you know, guys like us that have been in the trade 15, 20, 25 plus years. I mean, we are the current and future leaders of this industry, you know, and we have a responsibility. You know, I don't know anybody who, there's always an exception to the rule, but I don't know anyone in the trade that comes from affluence. You know, everyone I know in this trade comes from middle class to, you know, lower class families. This trade saved my life, and there's many among us that have similar stories. And I feel like we have a responsibility to do our part, to call foul when there's a foul, you know?
We need to hold each other accountable. And it's just what it is. I mean, it's almost like being a group of friends. If you're acting a fool, one of your boys is going to be like, hey, Ron, man, you need to slow down, bro. You're acting a fool, man. I mean, it's the same concept. It's sometimes, and like we said, I'm not going to sit here and say names of people, because that's not the point of this. It's just in general that I don't know, man. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I can. I hadn't even thought of it that way, because I'm sure you and I, Ron, we're signed up to the same people, and I'm seeing the same shit. And I didn't even think about, like, I've not gotten anything from my suppliers, like promoting any products. It's all been updates like, hey, we are now, like, you cannot come in the front door now. We will be delivering on the west side of the building. Please call before you come in and we'll bring it out to you. It's been that type of stuff. Nobody promoting products. I think that's, to me, that just seems shameless. You know, that just doesn't seem right to me, but I'm not on a pedestal of any kind either. I just, people are scared already. Like, I'm not here to try to put any more fear into them. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And it's not really about like suppliers saying, hey, we have this. That bothers me. I mean, I kind of get that. I mean, they see what's going on, so they're saying, hey, we have this. I kind of understand it. I don't know if I'm okay with it, but I get that part of it. I
have to admit, I sent an email out saying, like, you know, here's what we're doing to take precautions, and you know, we do have a great deal going on right now, but we started that before this all hit.
Yeah, and so in offering IAQ, like, you know, Kelley, I've always been big in it. I offered 365 days a year. When this whole outbreak happened, nothing changed.
Right.
We still offer the same stuff we've always offered. So that's why, like, those people, and guess what? It's the same price as it was 6 months ago. I didn't raise the price because all of a sudden the need and the fear went up.
No.
It's, if anything, I'm giving people breaks, because I want them to have it. I want them and their family to be safe. I forget who we talked to, but when they told us, they said, as soon as the customer stops being the most important thing, that you're in for a heap of trouble. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to make the money that you want. All the things that you want, if the customer stops being the most important thing, it's never going to work out for you.
You know, and you know, your coworkers. I mean, your coworkers are the most important thing. They're your family too. You know, it's our family and theirs.
Yeah.
That we have to protect. So, yeah.
But if we could kind of,
we are doing a TP giveaway. Sorry.
Separate the two for a moment. So, IAQ, indoor air quality. You know, for the last couple of years or so, like, that's the buzzword in the industry, period, right? So if we separate the two for a moment and we just look at indoor air quality solutions in general, aside from this current pandemic, it's still a very misunderstood segment of our industry. There's still very, very little data that really supports a lot of the stuff that all of us are promoting, right? I've read the ASHRAE reports. I'm doing my due diligence to try to learn as much as I can, even prior to this, about indoor air quality, because I understand the importance of it. And you know, there's guys like Nate Adams and Mike Hoosh. I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong, Mike. They're putting out great content, also trying to get to the bottom of it. Everything really comes back to proper filtration, proper humidity control, and proper ventilation when you dig into it. And then all of these things, the various products that we install are a means of trying to shortcut, you know, that system. Because it's easier to pop something in a plenum and wire it in than it is to run a fresh air duct and, you know, penetrate the housing structure and, you know, put a damper in it. It's easier. But there's very little real substantial data on these items that we're putting in. I mean, when you start looking at the UV products, then you have to start questioning effects of ozone. You know, when you look at some of the products that don't produce ozone, there's still very little comparative data of non-biased comparative data that really says how effective are these things, you know? So that, as an aside, is something as a trade, as an industry, that we're still trying to understand ourselves and figure out the best solutions. I believe in what we're doing, but we're trying to learn this as an industry as a whole to really be sure we're trying to provide the best solutions. But now what we have is, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, oh, you're scared. You're in fear of this virus, this airborne. You know, it's still back and forth. A lot of things are saying it's not so much airborne now. We can get into that, but people are now fear mongering and exploiting that to say, hey, I can put this in your system and it will kill those viruses. Well, you don't have anything to really substantiate legitimately being able to tell anyone right now that you have anything that you can say for sure is going to eliminate the coronavirus from their indoor environment.
No, and if they say that, if they say that, that's pure ignorance, because you're right. There is nothing saying that.
So we don't have anything to support that currently, but all of a sudden this stuff can't stay on the shelf. Us as an industry selling indoor air quality products is not something new, but there are always plenty of them on the shelf. Well, now there's none of them on the shelf, and all day I see Facebook ads, you know, promoting this. Like, it's such an aggressive push right now to capitalize on this moment of fear, and it just bothers me. It bothers me because all of us, if you think about it, we all have some programming that we've come up with. We all have certain, when you say things like a car salesman, when you say things like a salesman, that's what, you know, I'm a technician at heart. Though I'm an owner now, I'm a technician at heart. You know, most technicians, they don't like the word salesman or I have to do sales, because we all have our pre-programmed thoughts of what those words carry. Well, that's because of what those industries did over the long term, serving their people, and now we have them. And now I see people in our own industry doing the same thing, and it concerns me about the longevity of how people will look at us as tradesmen as a result. If things like this continue, you know, we shouldn't be exploiting people. We should be serving people.
Yeah. Before, I want to touch base on a couple of things that you said, because
sure.
As far as some data, first of all, you're right. As far as all the stuff we need is indoor air quality. We do need fresh air. We do need humidity controls. And I don't think slapping in an Air Night, a Remy, a Better Air, whatever, should replace all of that. It should be something in addition with those things. So I do agree that shouldn't be something that replaces all this other stuff. There is some testing out there that is done. So I can share whatever with you. What I've done before I've ever offered anything to customers, I've put it in my own home. I've seen what it's done. I've seen the changes that have happened. The fact that I have 4 kids, my wife has the health conditions and stuff like that. So I've tried to see if things helped. And I've based my opinion off what I've seen happen with me versus what other customers have done. There is testing about some of the, and you're right, they do produce some ozone, but I think some of the things that they kill is better than the ozone output when you outweigh them. Like I've noticed, I don't use them anymore, but when I use the Air Knights and the Remy Halos and stuff like that, that my kids would not miss school for being sick as much. Before, having a big family, one person would get sick, bam, it would just start going down the line, because it gets sucked in your return, comes out the supply, goes on to the next one. That kind of stuff didn't happen. Then I switched and I tried this Better Air probiotic stuff. And Kelley knows, when it was sent to me, I was like, whatever, I'll try this. I was like, whatever. It's like blowing yogurt all over the house. But it really, really was legit. And I tried so much to try to debunk it, to try to find another reason that things were happening, because I had what everyone was telling me was the best, like I have fresh air coming in, 15 minutes of every hour. I have fresh air being brought in. I practice what I preach, as far as I put everything on my 2 systems as possible. For one, to know the results and how it works before I offer it to someone. But I do think that the probiotic stuff is legit. Probiotics has been proven. There's data that has proven what it can do. It's just now in this application. And I know that I went over this stuff they had through the University of Oregon, tested it all and stuff like that. So there is some data, but I do get what you're saying. People, I think that we do a disservice when we offer it the wrong way. And I think that's our fault as technicians. Oh, hey, this is going to fix all your problems, but we don't say all this. That's why, for me, when I sell a whole system, it's not just about the system. I try to give them the whole picture, like the holy grail of everything, to tell them what it should be. Like, we should have fresh air coming in. We should be properly heating and cooling clean air. Do they always go for everything? No, of course not. That's not my checkbook. That's not for me to say, but I make sure I put on all those things. But there's a lot of customers that do it. So I don't know. I went a little off there.
No, I agree with you. There is data, and if I said that there wasn't data, then I misspoke. More accurate way of what I was trying to say is that, yes, there is data, but we currently have pieces of data that, as an industry, we're still trying to figure out a complete picture. We have pieces of data about this type of product, pieces of data about this, pieces of data about that. And you mentioned the Better Air stuff. The Better Air stuff, I don't have an opinion of it one way or another, because I'm following it, but I don't have any personal experience. But the data that they're coming out with is really at complete odds with a lot of this other stuff, because it's saying that, hey, this other stuff is sterilizing the environment, and that creates its own inherent problems. So yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly that we have pieces of data, but we're still trying to take those pieces and make a whole.
I agree with that.
And you said, as far as it being on text, yeah, there is some of it on text. I think a lot of it falls on us as owners. A lot of it falls on the management. A lot of it falls on the supervisors and the senior technicians, not doing our part to make sure that the members of our teams are properly informed, properly educated, not only on the products that they're selling. That's one side of it. But the other side of it is that if your guys don't have a true sales system, then all they can do is try to sell whatever they can sell to get their tickets up and, you know, in some cases they're spiffs or whatever it may be, you know, they're going to sell whatever is the hot thing. You remember, it wasn't very long ago where the hot things was easy traps, surge protectors, and hard starts.
Yeah, they call it the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, you know, and nobody really dug into these things. Just as a quick thing on that was, you know, everybody was putting in these 2-wire hard starts, which are garbage. You know, they're absolute junk.
Yes,
they have thermal discs in them, and if that unit really short cycles, it'll help it the first time. After that, it's no help at all because the thermal discs are open and it's out of circuit. If you're not putting in something with a potential relay, then you didn't do anything for that client. But again, that comes back to us as owners, managers, supervisors, senior technicians to be educating our team members, not only about the products, but teaching them legitimate sales processes so that they're not just left to say, hey, well, what's the trending item that I need to be selling to get my tickets and revenues up to make sure my family's okay? I think a lot of that falls on our shoulders.
I think that's a good point with, like, especially the hard start kit, because it's not all about, for me, and I know this is horrible business when it comes to just business one-on-one. I mean, it's all about differentiation. Like, you got to be able to differentiate your products and services from the market. And sometimes that means going with a different brand, because when you can differentiate, it can give you that extra added thing that somebody else can't offer. So there's always that part of it. But I see this too. The people who are going out and, you know, installing the Supco junk and charging the same amount that they would charge to put in like a TO5 or a KS1. And those things, you know, the first very hot day, it's just going to explode and it's worthless. Like I didn't have a different one on my truck before and put one of those on. And that was 15 years ago. And from that day forward, I never used another one. I just refused to use them.
Plus,
because it's not all about just the dollars, you know?
no,
you still got to do what's right for the customer.
Look at all the ones, no matter what brand, the ones that come from manufacturers, they're all a start relay with a potential relay that, based on the back EMF or however they do it, is going to take that out of the circuit. None of them are using a Supco or a single without a relay. None of them.
No.
So why do I want to sell the customer an aftermarket one?
And so, you know, I have to say, I'm guilty. You know, again, I'm not condemning anybody.
We all are.
When those things first came onto the market, man, I was selling them 2-wire Supco hard starts every time I could. And I'd put that thing on after I'd put it on, I'd hook up my amp clamp and I'd start that unit and I'd see my inrush current drop, and I thought I did a great job. Until an older senior technician finally was like, man, things are junk. And I said, what do you mean a junk? They work. I use them, I test them. And he showed me, and he actually just bumped the contactor and he explained to me, you know, and he showed me, he proved it to me. It worked the first time, but in a true short cycle, if you just pop the contactor out and then right back in, it was out of the circuit because the thermal discs were open. So sometimes it's just ignorance on our part because we don't know, you know, and I'm guilty of many instances like that. I think we all are. But again, I come back to the leadership, the owners, the managers, the supervisors, the senior technicians. Like it's now those of us in those roles, it's on us to make sure we're doing our part to educate our team members so that we are doing what's right by people.
Yeah, I did. I messed up for the longest time, and I used to tell Kelley this. I used to let guys, I wanted them offering, you know, hard start, surge protectors, all this kind of stuff, but I would let them offer whatever brand they were comfortable with at first. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, like you just said, I'm like, I don't like the Supco, so why am I gonna let my guys offer them? So then I started looking into different products, testing them myself. Then I started bringing all that stuff into the shop, and we had a meeting where I went over every product. This is the one we're going to offer and why. This is why I want to offer this one versus this one. This is the surge protector I want to use versus this one, whether it's how it works, the warranty on it. But I started making guys use the one that I wanted. For one, I wanted it to be some kind of can't think of the word, fluidity. Like we're all offering the same thing.
Right.
So no matter what to a customer, we're all familiar. It's not one guy putting in something, you go back on a call. Plus that way it's quality control for me that I know I'm charging a certain price for a certain product. So I do agree with that. It does start at the top and work your way down. It's like anything. It's the motto, the culture you build at a company. It's the same way with your products, your goods and services. If you're not explaining that kind of stuff to your people, then it's not all on them. I mean, there is some responsibility for a technician to know how things work and why you make that decision, but it's also our job to educate them as well. So I agree with that one.
And you're saving yourself a bundle in callbacks. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because if you install a shit product, it's gonna fail and you're gonna have callbacks. So, and callbacks, we can't make any money running callbacks all day. So
No, I actually have a whole box of the Supco ones in my laundry room on the shelf because I cleaned out a truck one time on the weekend for a guy I was hiring, and I was like, yeah, not leaving those on there.
Yeah.
And they're still sitting.
Yeah, Jessica and Craig's company is so different from your typical, like they only focus on repairs. They don't sell anything. Like if it's a bad contract, that's all they're replacing. If it's a compressor and that's what they want to do, then they're just replacing a compressor. Like it's a different business model. I don't know if it's because I think it's just their area and their demographic, like the type of people that they're dealing with. It's all old folks. I think from my conversation with them last week, it's just different. It's definitely different.
Well, are they actual service company? Or are they in like a maintenance thing?
No, they do service, they do install too, and they do maintenance. Jessica does maintenance and Craig does service.
Oh, that's right. I did know that. Adam, Ron he's another Maryland boy like me, but he owns a company a little bit closer to DC. Ron is a friend of ours and smart dude, man. So we decided to bring Ron on to chat and debate about some different topics. Somebody was asking, they missed the beginning.
Excuse me. I charge a premium for my services, and I'm sure you guys do too. At least I hope you do. And I walk away and sleep very peacefully at night knowing that anything that I offer to a client, I know why I offered it to that client. I know what the benefit of it is to that client and why I'm giving it to them. Not just because it's going to boost my ticket, and I think that we have people on both paths in our trade, anyone maybe on that other side, I'd just like to encourage them to dig into learning a little bit more about the trade and what we're doing. This is a highly engineered trade. And once you do that, you can feel comfortable approaching clients with legitimate services and charging a premium and getting your tickets up. But know that you truly served that client, but they're going to have to pay you for it. The one way I always think of it is, you like steak. We use this example all the time, but you like steak.
Welcome, right?
Favorite steakhouse in the area?
The most expensive, the best steaks, probably like Ruth Chris or something like that.
All right, Ruth Chris. Well, IHOP sells steak too, right?
Yeah. But
we have to decide which one are you going to be? Are you going to be the IHOP steak or are you going to be the Ruth Chris steak? Ruth Chris delivers an experience. They deliver a service that you're paying for. You're not just paying for that cut of meat. You're paying for that whole service that you're buying from them. When you buy a steak at IHOP, it's a lower grade cut of meat, but so is the service that you're being delivered to.
Yeah.
And it's really the same thing in our industry. When you know what you're doing is truly providing a legitimate service, you will feel comfortable approaching homeowners, with premium prices. And what's amazing is when you do that and you're confident and comfortable with it, you'll also find that people will pay you that because they believe in you, because you believe in yourself and what you're doing. And it's a really amazing phenomenon. And, I really hope that guys will consider that.
Amen to that, dude. That
Yeah.
Me and Kelley preach that. That's what I say. And I prove to people that sometimes I go out there and I show my guys that I'll leave a day with a $1,200-$1,300 average ticket. And I did everything honestly. I offered products that the customers need. I offered them things that were going to help benefit their system. I was able to explain it in a way that they would understand it, to explain why they need it, not technical, not try to blow them away with a bunch of technical stuff that they don't understand or don't need to know, but in a way that they understand. And you're right. I have tried to turn this company in the time that I've been here to selling premium products at a premium cost. And people always know that we're not the cheapest guy in town, but they know that when we come out there, the way that we give the service, it's worth it. And they keep coming back for it. I always said, I never wanted to be the cheapest guy in town. I don't necessarily want to be the most expensive, but I want to be in between the middle and the top because I know that the service that we're giving is going to be better than the next guy. I'm not just coming in, changing that capacitor and rolling in 10 minutes because I didn't even check anything else. Did I really do a thorough job of checking that thing out? It's good the way you explained it because that's 100% how I feel.
Absolutely.
Well, I used to, go ahead, Kelley. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say real quick that also when it comes to that, because you're talking about providing a high level of service. And when we're talking about providing a high level of service, we're also talking about not discriminating just because they don't have a fancy car in the driveway and it's not a fancy house. If you're going in to provide the highest level of service possible, and that means if they need something that's going to benefit them, that's going to increase their comfort, it's going to improve the quality of their life, it's going to save them money, it's going to make their equipment more reliable, it's going to any of those things, then it's your duty, it is your professional right. Like you have to offer them what you can do for them, and don't discriminate between the different neighborhoods or the different people. It's, I just think it's a sign of just being give every option to every customer. Craig says, absolutely. You got to give options to every single customer. So I just wanted to add to that because yes, we preach this all the time, Ron, because it's true. Like we have to be paid, right? I mean, we can't just do our services for nothing and not make a living, because otherwise we're not providing a very good service if we're not going to be around to continue providing service by not charging what we should charge.
Well, one of the things that I did, Kelley, because you've been a mentor of mine long before I went into business for myself, you and Tersh, and thank you both so much. But before that, for 15 years, I was a technician, and I love the technical aspect of our trade. But one of the things I realized very quickly when I went into business for myself was a skill that I lacked is I didn't know how to sell. I did like most technicians do, I assume, and I would go and I'd find the problem and I'd say, well, Mr. Homeowner, here's what's wrong. And then I'd explain it to him in a technical way. And then I'd give them one option, one price, one repair, and that's it. And I would feel so uncomfortable ever asking for anything more than maybe a couple $100, to where I think my own discomfort with it blew a lot of those sales. And if I could give a piece of advice to anybody listening, one of the things that I did is I'm always trying to learn. And Kelley, I went down to Joe Cresera's training, Uncle Joe. Man, I love that guy. That guy's that guy's training, it changed my life. You know, as an individual, my outlook, and it really made me realize that I was a pretty shitty technician for most of my career. And what I mean is that I was very technical, and I could figure out, you know, I was the guy they sent when no one else could figure it out. I was good at that, but I was doing a pretty lousy job of serving my clients because the way that I was dealing with things, I wasn't truly offering them all the services available to them and letting them make a decision. I was making the decision for them and narrowing it down to, here's what you need. You have one option, one choice, one repair, one price, take it or leave it, you know? And man, did he open my eyes up, and I can't speak highly enough or encourage people enough to check into his training. It's a true game changer. But now doing that, I've really come to learn the difference in, you know, we always say we're a premium service provider. I did too. Well, now I realize like the difference between really being a service provider and what I was before. And it's accessible to everybody. You know, you just have to take the time and invest in it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Hold on. What the fuck's digging over here?
Yeah, and Joe's one that, like, he's just so genuine, and you just feel it with him. And I don't know why I've never invested in his training. I've done like everybody else's. I've done a lot of other ones. But
Joe Crucera as a man he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't help but to be drawn to him. And his training kind of comes back to what we were talking about earlier. His training is what he calls pure motive sales.
Yeah.
And as you learn the system, you really realize, like, no, it really is. Like, there's no scare tactics. There's no high pressure manipulation. There's nothing. It's learning how to provide a high level of service and letting people choose. And as I told you earlier, I butcher it every time that I present it. I butcher the system. Sorry, Joe. I butcher the system, but it still works that well that it still works every time.
Yeah.
Another class that I like was Joe Cunningham's class as well. He had another one that was good.
Man, and
if you invest in those things, then you don't have to do these other things that we're kind of frowning upon, because then you have the skills to go in on anything. I'm going to get off my soapbox here. Forgive me. I give you a quick example. Before I did that, my average ticket was $250, $350. You know, and I'm talking about service. I don't even do a lot of install work. I'm mostly a service guy right now. And immediately after that training, my average ticket is $1,100, $1,200. Just from that training, just learning how to do it. So, like, you don't have to use scare tactics. You don't have to use manipulation or pressure or you know, shady practices to get your tickets up. Just learn a true system, and it will serve you well.
I eventually will buy his program and learn it. But you know, I'm going to be honest here. I bought Gene's thing, and Gil's familiar with Gene's training too. And it's I always figured it would be pushy sales, and it's not pushy at all.
No.
It's just, it's how to communicate to the customer and kind of have show and tell. So you establish the need. You establish a need that this stuff has to be done. And when you do that and the customer says, yeah, oh yeah, we got to do something here. I mean, it sells itself. So, it's training.
Yeah. It's just learning, training, or a system, no matter who you learn it from. There's a lot of good guys out there. Like we just said, Joe Crucera, Joe Cunningham, Gene has a system, whoever you choose to learn their system, but it's just knowing and having a system in place to do this, that it's not, it's like we said earlier about education. It's not always about knowing how to fix every piece of equipment, how to install every piece of equipment, knowing every product you're going to offer. It's also being able to fit that in and to be able to portray that to the customer in an honest, way that you're doing your job at the highest level, that you're being able to explain and offer things to them the right way. And that's what that's what these systems are. These guys have perfected this stuff over years and years, and they teach you how to do it. And when you learn that, it's like second nature. You walk in and it takes time to perfect, because at first you feel awkward. It's like, ma'am, I'm going to go downstairs and look at your system, and I'm going to make a list of all the things I find wrong. Well, do you want me to just go ahead and fix it? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it feels awkward, but once you get over that and you get over yourself, it's fucking amazing.
And Jacob says he loves the Sandler system. I believe that is what Joe Cresera's is. Isn't it? It's called the Sandler system, or it would derive from that. Because somebody else that I talked to, somewhere on the East Coast, a buddy of mine, Tom Hack, he was totally into Joe Cresera stuff, and I think he said it's based on the Sandler system. That it's just a sales system.
I can't say that it is, or I'm not familiar with the term, but I don't want to misspeak either. And any of this stuff that we're talking about, is especially the technical stuff. Any of the guys listening, man, I'm an open book. I love our tradesmen. I love our tradeswomen. I love our trades. So anyone, if there's anything I can help you with, feel free. I don't know what's the easiest way, but I'm happy to give you my email, my phone number. Man, you run into a job, you need some help. I'm serious. Give me a call and email. I'm happy to help you out.
Guys,
and that's, maybe you could throw my email up there.
I can do that, man. If you let me put it on right now. And guys, we've been friends with Ron, and not, I'm not saying that because he's here, but he is that kind of guy, man. He is willing to help people. He's in the groups, answering people's questions, and trying to help people. So that was another one of the big reasons that we wanted to bring him on here, and hopefully have you on here more often, bro, to be honest with you. Because I like those kind of people that they're wanting to help other people, just to help other people, not for personal gain. You know what I mean?
The reality is none of us sitting here talking right here got here without standing on the shoulders of giants before us. Every one of us have had people in this trade in some form or another that has helped us in our journey, that's led us get here to where we are. So I feel like we have a responsibility to give that back to the men and women of our trade. So just take me up on it. I'm more than happy to help.
The 223 Yahoo one, Ron? Is that cool?
No, give them my business email, R Nelson.
I got it right here, man. I'm getting ready to put it up on my screen. I know your email's too goddamn long. I was trying to type that shit in. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It is. I'm in the middle of doing a rebrand and a name change, so it's going to get shorter. But yeah, email me. I'm on Facebook. Anyone hit me up if there's anything I can do to help. Sometimes you just need to bounce some ideas off of someone. How many times have you called a guy and you explain the situation, and before he can say anything, oh shit, I got it. You figure it out once you have someone to just say it out loud and bounce it off with, So, yeah, I'm happy to help however I can.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you, man. That timer went off like 10 minutes ago. So
okay, that's what I was getting ready to.
Yeah,
getting ready to type on there and say, just so you could see it, so I didn't interrupt anybody. Where's the timer?
Yeah. So thank all you guys, man. Miss Susie asked, and I'm not trying to be an asshole when I say this, but I know that I'm behind on shipping some things, and they're all ready to be shipped. But I went by the post office twice this week, and it was a fucking madhouse. No offense. I'm not going in there dealing with shit, during all this stuff to send away free prizes. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. So I'm going to get the stuff out ASAP. If that's not good enough, I really don't know what to say about that. So I'm just, there was like 8 people standing outside the door. They're all 5 feet apart. And, you know, I got a company to run. I don't got time to stand in the post office for fucking. Normally I can just run in and run out. So it's my fault. It's been so long. It's my fault. I messed it up, and I will take care of it, but I can't deal with that right now. So hopefully tomorrow it's not the same, but
hey, I got a question for Ron real quick. Did you get that great big ass book that he's got that's full of those overcoming objections? He calls it something. What does he call it?
I did.
You did?
The
I want that.
Objectomatic.
I want that. It's like $300. I want it.
Yeah. So if you do the total immersion, of course it's included with that, but he does sell them by themselves for, I think, $297.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. The Objectomatic. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I like the name too. It's a good name.
sorry, I was just saying, somebody said try UPS. Nah, I'm not doing that, because all the stuff I got to ship, it was like $345 through UPS. I keep that shit for $345. Y'all can kiss my ass. But yeah. Anyway,
give us a thumbs up, guys, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Tell everybody else subscribe to this YouTube channel for sure.
Yes, please do, man. Thank you, guys, man. We appreciate all of you. And yeah, well, I don't know how to end this on here, so hold on. Let me see something real fast.
Well, fellas, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, we appreciate you, brother. Stay safe, man. We'll be in touch, man.
I'm gonna call you here if I maybe even tomorrow. Do you got jobs? You got work tomorrow? Are you busy? I mean, really busy?
I always got time for you. Just give me a call.
All right, appreciate you, man. Thanks, Ron.
All right, fellas. See ya.
Yep. Yeah, have a great night.
Yep,
buddy.
All right.